Hi everyone. Since I enjoy watching pick a card readings, I thought I'd do one myself. So I'm going to do three piles, and you pick the pile that you're most drawn to. And the intention is for the message to resonate with you whenever you watch this, whether you're watching it immediately, whether you're watching it like a year from now, or whatever. It should resonate with you. And if it doesn't, then just forget about it. This is for entertainment purposes only. Thank you. Okay, so we have this card. It's my first video. I don't know what I'm doing. We have this mermaid card that says, "Watch your thoughts. It's important to only think about what you desire, not what you fear." Then it says, "Wait. Don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results." And then it says, "Simplify your life. Eliminate clutter from your home and work life to balance the flow of activities." I think immediately that sounds to me like you may be dealing with a lot in your mind right now, and it may seem like you just want to run away from it all, and that will solve the problem for you. But obviously, that seldom solves problems. So, a good place to start is to simplify your life, and so you can reevaluate your priorities. What are you focusing on that just drains you and doesn't actually do anything for you, and try and just eliminate that or reduce it or something like that, something along those lines, so you can simplify your life in that sense. And maybe you have too many commitments and obligations, and really not all of them actually bring you joy. And I think when you want to make good decisions in life, it really should be when you're in a good place, not when you're in a bad place, not when you're like, fuck this shit, and and you want to make a harsh, quick escape decision. Because you can't run away from your own energy. That's the thing here. So, if you make rash decisions, you're just taking your own energy with you someplace else. And one way or another, you're going to find that somehow you've gone and created the same old situation somewhere else. So watch your thoughts. It's important to only think about what you desire, not what you fear. And when we're in this, this fed up energy, we spend a lot of time thinking about what we're fed up about and what we're frightened of. Like, why haven't I done anything about this? Because I'm frightened of this, or I'm afraid of that, or whatever. Well, we've probably spent way too much time thinking about that. So maybe let's spend some more time thinking about what we actually want. What do I actually desire? And sit in those feelings and see how that feels. And then it'll be easier and clearer to make a decision on what feels good, rather than making a decision on what doesn't feel good. Like, if you make a decision on what doesn't feel good, sometimes it can work out. I don't know. Don't listen to me. You make your own mind up. Sometimes it can work out, but I think oftentimes, like, when we just make a rash decision because we're fed up and we've had enough, we just run into, another, what is it? You jump out of the pan into the flame, or whatever it is. Whereas if you focus on what you do want and sit in those feelings, even though your life circumstances may not reflect that to you right now, your life circumstances may be like completely different from circumstances that would generate those feelings for you. But the cool thing about being a human being is that we can actually generate our own feelings regardless of the external environment. And you can just create those feelings for yourself. You can just picture what you want and feel good. And in that way, you'll be a lot closer to knowing exactly what you want, when you want it, where you want it, how you want it. And when you do make a decision, and when you do make a change, or whatever the case may be here, it'll send you in the direction where you feel good. You've already done that work. You're not relying on what you think will bring you that feeling. You've already brought that feeling to yourself, and now the environment around you is just changing to reflect how you actually feel. And these are healing cards, And they've got different sections, and this one says opening my mind. And so it says, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. So basically, like, if your ideas and beliefs circle around what you already know and what you already don't like, I mean, you can't really see anything else. So I think that just confirms that for us. And then we've been given this auspicious card here, the Emperor. The Emperor is like, it can go both ways. So the good side of the Emperor is that this is the pinnacle of the divine masculine. Now, if you want to look into the divine masculine, and I recommend that you do, the divine masculine is our masculine energy, obviously. And this, if it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman or what you identify as, like, we all have both divine masculine and divine feminine within us. But to embody the Emperor, you're self-assured, you know what you want, you don't mull over things that are not important, that are no longer present or prevalent in your life. And you don't, make decisions based on, things that happened in the past, but rather you make decisions based, heart-centered, based on what you feel and what you know to be true, because you're the motherfucking Emperor. And in looking into divine masculine, I've come to find that there are many aspects to it, such as one of them is being the warrior, and I think we can all relate to that. Like, what is a strong masculine energy? It's like a warrior, a protector, that kind of thing. And then, but that's just one aspect. And then there's also divine masculine aspect of being the lover, and now that's a much softer and gentler energy. And then there's the father, and that's a whole nother thing. And then there's what was the fourth one now? The magician, yeah, the magician. And so this is the spiritual aspect of the masculine, and it ties into masculine energy, which is to get things done, to strategize, to do things. So the magician, being masculine, isn't just sort of spiritual in an airy sense. The magician grounds magical thoughts and ideas, like new ideas and belief, into reality. The magician creates. That's what the magician does. So these four energies are something that, if one of them stands out to you more, then maybe you should work on that. Or if you notice that you've been focusing on one more than the other, for example, like with toxic masculinity, it really eliminates everything other than being a warrior. And it presents the warrior in a very destructive sense, like, it's my way or the highway. And so that's the negative side of the Emperor. So that's something to look into when it comes to your thoughts, when it comes to decision making, when it comes to simplifying your life, and when it comes to allowing yourself to see beyond your own beliefs and ideas, because there's way more out there than what you already know and believe and what you've experienced. And then I'm going to finish with this Native American oracle card, and I'm going to read from the book, because the symbolism here is, I don't know how to interpret it myself most of the time, so I'm just going to read from the book. And now this is card number 7. It may mean something to you, that number. And number 7 in numerology is the number of spiritual growth. So where's number 7? The deer. Oh, wow. The meaning here is unconditional love. I'm going to let you look at the card, the image at the same time. Unconditional love. Just as unconditional love is complex, so too is deer's gifts. In some creation myths, she is said to sacrifice her life so that the world may come to life. The antlers are strong symbols of strength, power, and protection because they are shed and regrown every year. They also represent the cycles of life with a season for everything. Deer also symbolizes gentleness, both emotional and the idea of walking gently upon the earth with other creatures, walking gently upon the earth with other creatures. Hunters would pray to deer, asking for a successful hunt, and promise only to take what was necessary for life. Moccasins, and actually I've never sure how to pronounce those shoes, I think that's how you say it, remind us of the long pilgrimage that is life, our long journey toward the full expression of love. Wow. And so the message from this is that when strength is required, be strong. Oh my God, this is just like everything that I just said. When strength is required, be strong. When forgiveness is required, forgive. Pay attention to what is needed and let that guide your actions. And the keywords here are gentle strength, unconditional love, knowledge of the earth, the cycles of life. And the timing is June, the month of flowering. So that June may mean something, it may not, doesn't have to. So that was a really wonderful message. And thank you for watching. And let me know if you like this pick a card and if you'd like me to do some more. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Hi, pile 2. So let's start with your reading. Well, I'm trying to read this first. So this deck is a healing deck, and it gives you healing mantras to repeat to yourself and to work on. So, and it's divided into sections, and this section is hearing the inner guidance. And so it tells you that my intuition flows whenever I am still. Now, what this means is that when you're busy, when you're preoccupied, when you've got way too much going on, when you're stressed, when you don't know which way is up and down, it's so hard to hear your intuition, because your intuition is, it's just a gentle whisper. And the gentle whisper really can't get through when you're in the thick of it. And so it's really important to take the time to just sit down with a cup of tea or whatever it is that you like. If you meditate, it's important to do that. Or even just at night before you go to bed, you can put on anything that's calming and gentle, like rain sounds. Or in fact, I found these really cool blizzard videos on YouTube, and it's just like a recording of blizzards, and it's so calming. Or you can listen to binaural beats specifically, or even affirmations. And so these still and calm the mind, and it allows your intuition to come through. And your intuition is your inner compass. It's really only the right direction for you to go in. So let's look at the mermaid cards. We have Make a Wish. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. Okay, that's a beautiful card. Look, there's a unicorn. Can you see it? There's a unicorn and a mermaid, and then it's like reflected back in the water. And it's sort of like, you know, what was in your imagination, or what was your, you know, your deep hidden desire is sort of coming to life now with, I mean, I'm not sure if that's a sunset or sunrise, but I mean, I think it's a sunrise personally. You decide. And then here we have protection. You, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. And this is a wonderful message too. Wow. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to be still and sink into what we desire, what feels good, what we want. And it's hard to accept when a wish is coming true as well, because you don't know if that means that something's going to be taken away from you, or if the rug is going to be pulled out from underneath you, or if, you know, if there's no such thing as like a free meal, there's no such thing as like getting a good thing, it means that something terrible is going to happen. But fear not, because you are protected. God and the angels love you today and every day, and you're safe, you're protected. You, your loved ones, and your possessions as well. You don't need to worry about losing your house or whatever. You're safe and protected by heaven. And then we have Dream Big. And so this is really interesting. So we've got this lovely, restful, relaxed mermaid here, just enjoying the sea. And it says, dream big, let go of small thoughts about yourself, see yourself succeeding. And yeah, this is really in line with, you know, your intuition, which is your inner guidance telling you what really lights your fire, and your wishes coming true. And sometimes it's hard for those things to come true because we don't assign ourselves high enough goals. We give ourselves things that are manageable, achievable, that are good. I'm not saying that, you know, certainly not like, you know, trying to diminish any kind of achievement or anything, but I think a lot of us don't want to be too much. We don't want to be seen to be too much. We don't want to shine too much. That comes a lot from social conditioning, like it's better to fit in and not to stand out too much, or not to aim too high, because what if you don't succeed? Then you're gonna look like a fool. Or what if you do succeed? Then people are gonna think that you think that you're better than them, and like there's a whole thing. But you just need to forget about that. You need to be still, because all of that is noise and it has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with your soul's desire. And then here we have the world. Now, the world card is the final card in the tarot journey, in which the tarot journey starts with the Fool, which is card number 0, and then the world is card number 21. And so there's a whole journey where you learn so many different things, and so many events happen, some good, some bad, some empowering, some confusing, some where stillness is required, somewhere after all this stillness, enlightenment comes. Justice is a card that comes somewhere along in the middle. There's a strength card where you find your inner strength. Like there's just so many cards on this journey, and the world is the end of it. It's the culmination. So it means that like a major change is transpiring, or the hard times are over and it's plain sailing now. It can also literally mean like travel across the world. Like it could mean that you're moving somewhere really far away, or somewhere where you've actually wanted to go for a really long time and you haven't had the chance, but now you're getting that chance. And it's a positive and auspicious card. There's a lot of symbolism here. Like you've got the apple, which represents like abundance, to me, in my opinion. I don't know, like you tell me how you feel about it. There's just so much going on here. Like this is a snake or a serpent, I don't know. Like the positive attributes to this are growth, spiritual growth and change. And then there's just so much going on in the world card. It just means that like the hard part's over, you're at the end. And don't worry about it. And so, gosh, this is a short reading. And then, so I'm going to finish with this this Native American Oracle card here, and I'm going to read from the book because I'm really not familiar with the symbolism that they have here, so I'm going to read it to you. So this is card number 14. If somebody's birthday is on the 14th, happy birthday. I don't know why that came to me. All right, so you can look at the image, and I'm going to read from the book. So it says, Kokopelli, the demiurge, if that's how you pronounce that. So this is a section on the gods. And it talks about risk. Kokopelli is the young god of music and fertility. His flute, a phallic symbol, evokes and promotes fertility in both the fields, and in the animal kingdom. As he plays his flute, snake or sexual energy wakens and the natural forces of the world stir to life. Kokopelli's consort was also honored as the mother of the divine race. All children born with special talents are descended from her. We are reminded that whenever we step into our personal power or gifts, we are tapping into the powerful energy of Kokopelli. We can never be quite sure what the results will be or what energies we will awaken, just that those results will unfold quickly. And the message here is be courageous and use your gifts. Do not shy away from risks, but engage life with your whole body, mind, heart, and spirit. And the keywords are risk, initiating action, creation, ability, gifts, tapping into elemental power, immediate responses. Ooh, so if you're waiting for something, expect an immediate response. And the timing is spring. Okay, so spring is the season of fertility. Actually, I want to keep this open. The season of fertility. Well, I don't know why I was going to say in the northern hemisphere, but like, I guess because I'm thinking of like the actual months for me. But yeah, if you're in the southern hemisphere, spring is still spring. It's just a different set of months. And so basically this is talking about seeds of creation, vital life force, which I've been looking into a lot recently, and It talks about planting seeds, and it talks about creativity and creative passions. So that could involve singing, dancing, it could involve writing, it could involve like building something or creating something, like putting something together. Like it could involve anything that's creative that uses the energy that comes from your sacral chakra. And that energy is it's sensual energy and it's sexual energy, which is the energy of creation. So whether you're creating like a project or whether you're like, creating a human being, it's the same thing. And so this again really asks you to tap into your intuition, because your intuition comes from your heart and it comes from your sacral chakra, because it's like the source of flow. It's water energy, which is emotional and flowing, rather than like, stagnant energy or disciplined, harsh energy. This is more flowing and free and creative. So in this pile, really, you're being asked to step into flow and trust and faith and just enjoy your journey. And those are the messages that I have for you right now. So I hope that this was helpful. And leave a comment if you would like to see another one of these pick-a-cards. I wish you a blessed day. Thank you. Hello, pile 3. Thank you for picking a pile, and I hope this message is useful to you now or whenever you're reading it, whenever you're viewing it, sorry. I mean, it's intended to apply to you whenever you're watching it. It doesn't have to be like, the day that I posted the video. And so let's start with the mermaid cards. It talks about self-forgiveness here. And I don't know what it looks like. This mermaid's cutting her hair off. No, she's just combing her hair. Okay, that would horrify me if I was cutting my hair up. It says, let go of old guilt and remember that you're God's perfect child. Yeah, okay. Maybe I thought she was cutting her hair off for a reason. So it talks about letting go of old guilt and remember that you are God's perfect child. Now, guilt can really make you feel like you're unblessed, like you're forsaken, like you're everything wrong that's in the world. And guilt is a really, really dark emotion because, in my personal opinion, the people who should feel guilty about their actions don't feel any guilt or remorse or anything like that. And people who really ought not to hold on to things that they think that they've really made a mess of tend to hold on to those things, and they shouldn't, because that's old, stagnant energy. It was a time and place. You may have said something you didn't mean. You may have done something that was terrible. You may have even intended to do it. Maybe it was actually your intention to do it, but it doesn't matter because it's in the past now. You can, if you can make amends, or if you have already made amends, then forgive yourself. You don't wait for somebody to tell you that they forgive you. You forgive yourself. Like you put yourself in that energy of, I'm forgiven because I'm a child of God. And everybody makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. Like, nobody's a perfect person. And yet, in the eyes of God, you're a perfect child. So accept that too. Accept that love that's there for you to tap into and to feel. You don't need to tap into these like horrible low vibrational energies of guilt and shame and stuff like that, because it's so paralyzing. It will stop you from doing what you need to do, from what you want to do, from what you should do. And that's its only purpose. It's just stagnating. There's no flow in it. There's no life in it. It's just the energy of death, in my opinion. So let go of guilt. And you can try saying this phrase. It's a Hawaiian phrase. I believe it's called Ho'oponopono. And so you just, set your intention onto that place and time where you think you did something wrong or you did do something wrong. Like there's no two ways about it. And just say to you, or it could be a small thing. It could be like just you were judging somebody harshly, or it could be a big thing where you really did something that wasn't great. And just say these words. Say,
I'm sorry.
forgive me, thank you, I love you, and just allow that energy of self-forgiveness to wash over you. And you're allowed to forgive yourself. Like, you don't have to punish yourself. Like, this is an old-fashioned concept of like, I have to punish myself for something that I think that I've done wrong. Like, that's just not okay. It's not okay to do that to yourself. And then we have mother healing. As your feelings toward your mother heal, your desires manifest more rapidly and accurately. This is a very interesting card too, because a lot of times people can have like certain resentments to their home of origin. Like, let's say things were quite rough in your childhood, or maybe not rough, but there was negligence, or maybe there was just emotional unavailability, or I mean, it could really be anything. But at the end of the day, like, we're all human beings and we all make mistakes. And to hold on to whether it's to the self or whether it's to someone else, feelings of like resentment, like when it's to someone else, it's feelings of resentment, and when it's to the self, it's feelings of guilt. And this is all the same energy. Like, it's just holding on to old hurt. And you're punishing yourself. Here you're punishing someone else. Here you're acknowledging the wrongdoing of someone else, but you're not letting it go. So it's almost like you're creating this victimhood within yourself. Like, I was a victim. This happened to me. It did happen to you, but you're not a victim. Okay? You can choose any new path that you want, and you can choose any new set of thoughts and ideas and beliefs that you want, and you can generate positive feelings at any time, no matter what went down in your life. And same thing with self-forgiveness. Like, you're also not a victim to what you think you did. Again, it's like an anchor of negative energy, and we just want to just cut that anchor away and let it sink down to the bottom of the ocean, where it can grow like barnacles on it. You know what I'm talking about. And here we have very, very nice card. So like, on the other side of all of this forgiveness is a blessing, a treasure chest. And it says, an unforeseen windfall of new abundance comes to you now. And abundance can mean anything. It can mean financial, obviously, if we're looking at a treasure chest here. But if you see, like, this chest is filled with like light. So really, I mean, this is like the light of life. Like, this is your soul's joy finally getting to express itself once that barrier, which is all of this dense, stressful energy, has been just lifted and dissolved. Like, just dissolve that barrier. You can do it. You have the ability to do that, and let your heart shine through so that you can feel blessed, because you are blessed. So give yourself the option to feel that. And maybe even some finances might come through for you then. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And then here we have the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups is the king of love, the king of emotion. And what that means is that, this is the highest masculine order of the cup suit. So you have a Queen of Cups and you have the King of Cups. And now the King of Cups is love from the divine masculine's perspective. And so that's a protective, kind, caring, considerate love. That's somebody loves you. Okay, and if this is talking about you letting out your inner King of Cups, it means you can express your feelings, because the King of Cups has all this love in his heart sometimes, and he doesn't let it out. He doesn't let it show, because he's the king and he doesn't want to look like some kind of dumb fuck. Okay, but you can let it out. It's safe to do so. And so here in this healing deck, it has different sections to it, and this section is called Untangling Neglect. And so that can definitely align with this energy that we were talking about here. If anything could have gone down, frankly. Like a lot of people have tensions with their parents that they just remain unresolved, or you bring them up and nothing ever seems to get resolved because it's pointless even bringing it up. But, the key here is that it's the same with self-forgiveness, is that you don't need to wait for someone else to resolve something for you. You can resolve it within yourself because they're your feelings. You own your own feelings. At the end of the day, like someone may have put them there or someone may have triggered them, but you own your own feelings. They belong to you. So you can just change them. You can turn them around. And you might say to me like, Latifa, that sounds really fucking difficult. And why is it my job to do that? It's your job to do that because you own yourself. Like, don't let someone else own you, okay? Be a free person. Be a free soul, a free spirit. Be free. Allow yourself to be free. And so this card says, I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. All right, so I don't need external approval. It's nice. Of course, it's fucking nice for somebody to say nice things to me and to validate things that I've done or validate my appearance, tell me I look cute, But at the same time, I don't need to wait for that. I can give myself all of the approval I desire. I can tell myself that I am proud of myself for what I have done. Even if nobody else can see what I've done or nobody can understand what I've been doing all this time, I am proud of myself. I give myself all of the approval I desire, and I forgive myself because I love myself. I am the King of Cups. And so let's finish with this Native American Oracle card. And I'm going to read from the book here, because I can't really interpret the symbolism by myself. So this is card number 25, and I will read the message and show you the card closer so you can have a look at the imagery. So the necklace and the wampun, I don't know how you read that. And it talks about alliance. Wow. The circle is the symbol of life and is the shape of both the necklace and belt of protection, which is the wampum. Okay, and they've spelled it differently here and here, so you'll forgive me for not knowing how to pronounce it. So, the belt of protection. To enter the circle means to be born, and to leave it means to die, deprived of the vital energy that ensures the continuation of life. It is also the symbol of time because the cycles of the sun and the moon are heavenly circles. The necklace and the belt usually have general magic woven into them as well as protective properties. Different materials such as turquoise, crystal, obsidian, coral, and shells provided more specific properties. In addition, different colored beads were woven in patterns to create symbols and add further meaning to these ritual items. And the message here is, life is a circle and all are connected. View your enemy as a potential ally and learn to see his flaws as skills. Keywords are alliance, protection, support, and advice from influential people, and the timing is Fridays. So this is interesting. So this talks about the circle of life, talks about where you came from and where you're going. And very interesting here is that it talks about vital life force. And now when you're in the circle, you have vital life energy, mana, prana, chi. And when you're out of it, you don't have that. And so it's really important to take ownership of the fact that lower vibrational energies, resentment, anger, unforgiveness, guilt, shame, self-hatred, self-deprecation, a lack of self-love, bending over backwards for people who do not bend over backwards for you. Like, it's okay to be somebody who bends over backwards. I'm not like shaming that quality in a person, but do it for people who do the same back to you. Don't just bend over backwards for people who just sit there and like don't even lift a finger. Like that will deplete your vital life force until you have none left. That's what it means to be low vibrational. It means that your vital life force is either drained, stolen, depleted, dead, like whatever the case may be. And you shouldn't do that to yourself. You owe yourself love of the highest order. You owe yourself forgiveness of the highest order. You owe yourself the highest vibration possible. Allow that into your heart. Allow that into your life. And tell yourself that you the man. And it's funny because I was listening to this Killers song the other day, which I've never actually like taken it seriously because it's more of a jokey song, and it's called The Man. And in the chorus he goes, I got gas in the tank. I got cash in the bank. I got news for you, baby. You're looking at the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. Who's the man? I'm the man. And it's so funny. So like maybe listen to that song and just like pump yourself up, because there's no reason to like walk around forlorn and, you know, not feeling like you're the man, because you are the motherfucking man, okay? And I hope you enjoyed this pick a card reading, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of these. And I wish you a blessed day. Thank you.